In this video, we're going to break down the operator Oryx. Before we get started, I do want to say that this is a video series I've been wanting to create to help people fully understand the potential they can have with an operator and utilize its abilities. If you learned something from this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see high-level gameplay and future breakdown and tip videos. Oryx is definitely a viable operator when it comes to the defense side in Siege, relying on his incredible physique to bust through any soft wall to give either his enemies a little bit of a startle or to help him rotate throughout the map to increase his success rate in roaming. Not only does he dash through soft walls, but he is also the only operator in defense that can climb hatches vertically. For his primary weapons, you are given Legion's T5 SMG or Valkyrie's Spaz 12 shotgun, with a choice of secondary weapons of either Alibi's Bailiff pistol or Jackal and Mira's USP 40. On top of his unique abilities, his secondary gadgets could either be barbed wire or proximity alarms, which the choice is really on you on what you bring, depending on what you want to do or what your team needs. Now before we move on further, I do want to say that there is no correct way to play this operator, as it's a very flexible choice when chosen. You can either utilize his Rima dash and be a more efficient roamer, or maybe you pick him to help make rotates for the team and sit sight with the 1.5 on the T5. Everything explained in this video is describing how I use Oryx in Diamond and Champion rank, so if what you hear isn't your cup of tea, don't worry. In order to find comfort in playing these operators, you need to play them and get a feel for it. You can essentially roam with any operator in the game, but to do so efficiently and successfully, certain operators give you a little bit more of an advantage when sneaking up on the attacking operators. Vigil is known for being invisible to flank drones, while Oryx is known to scale multiple floors and to traverse them quickly. Oryx in my book is an S tier roamer. Given the circumstances, like on Cafe, you can be anywhere on the map at any time in seconds using Oryx. With good knowledge on high value push spots and the environment surrounding it, you can use Oryx to your advantage and possibly stop the push depending on your placement and adaptability. Oryx is equipped with Alibi and Maestro's Bailiff shotgun pistol, which is great for making head level holes in soft walls and creating small little peak angles in soft floors to give you what I call the first strike advantage. There should really be no other reason to use the USP 40, given that Oryx depends on not only dashing through the halls, but also scaling hatches. So a good tip when roaming as him is to use that bailiff and open all the hatches around the map. Having all the hatches open initiates what I call the fear factor. The fear factor is when the enemy knows that there is an Oryx and realizes that all the hatches are open. In high elo, you can expect the enemy team to communicate by trying to roam clear you out from top floor down, or even vice versa. Depending on how you play the round when this happens, given that Jackal is banned, you can waste a lot of that precious time and force the attackers to push sight in the last 30 seconds, which I have nicknames for all of these. I call it the we need to push sight now factor. Even if you do open all the hatches and don't choose to roam as him, that fear factor will still be active because of the fact that they fear you roaming and still want to roam clear just to make sure you can't come up behind them.
No, it's not the same. People don't love him. They fear him.
Although roaming is usually the #1 option for any skilled and experienced player playing as Oryx, he can assist in setting up a site, which is equally important, especially for that one smoke player having to make all the rotates.
Do I have to do everything myself?
If you know that a certain site requires multiple rotate holes or head holes, spend the first 10 or 15 seconds of the round and dash through a couple walls, use the bailiff to make those head holes we were talking about. Your smoke will appreciate it and this will allow your team to set up other things much more quickly. Just be aware that every time you dash through a soft wall completely, you sacrifice a portion of your health. Not by much, but sometimes that 10 to 20 health adds up when you are on the roam. A really big site that Oryx is useful on is Cafe 3rd floor. This site requires a lot of rotates and a lot of things to be destroyed. As Oryx, I usually use my dash to open up inner bar. This allows whoever is playing in Cocktail, or specifically we call it C1, C2, and C3, to get visual of attackers walking through bar. This will prevent any plants and force the attackers to choose a safer spot. My next dash is for B1, or also known as Shaiko. This bar is a default plant spot for attackers, and dashing allows you to not only isolate any attacker that walks from new hatch balcony, but it also makes it visible for those cocktail defenders so they can prevent the plant from happening. Next I dash through the wall on top white, next to the wood stack, which is usually just a rotate so that whoever is playing top white can rotate through freezer, or vice versa. The next dash is on Piano Door in White Hall, or known as Pixel. This is a popular angle where you put a deployable shield and hold a ticket booth, breach, or cigar lounge door. There is a very annoying vanity that only gets destroyed from an impact grenade or Oryx's Rima dash. The purpose in destroying this will allow Jaeger to put his ADSs a little bit closer to the edge of the wall to catch grenades from destroying the shield, and also allows whoever is playing Pixel to tuck a little bit deeper into the corner. This is one specific site that I know Oryx has an advantage on. There's many ways you could utilize him here as well. You could also open the hatches within Cocktail and Piano that will allow you to rendezvous with your team a lot quicker if you were needed back in sight. As in depth as I went on the site setup for Oryx on this specific map, this is one of many examples where he is really useful in utilizing his utility. Many of these things on the cafe setup can be mimicked or expanded on other maps. You just have to use your knowledge and figure out where to go from there. Each operator is a double-edged blade. For the most part, for every advantage comes a disadvantage. In order to use your operator correctly, you need to understand how to maneuver around these counters to effectively play at 100%. One advantage that Oryx has is his ability to knock down opponents, staggering them and giving you about a 1-second advantage before they come back to consciousness. This is really strong against attackers that like to bring shields such as Montane and Blitz. Any games where Montane is a problem, you can solve it by bringing in Oryx. Another advantage that Oryx has is his ability to traverse across the map quickly. Whether it be dashing through soft walls or climbing up hatches, it's easy to get a pick and then run with Oryx due to his abilities. Because Oryx is an efficient roamer, flank watch and roam clears are the biggest counter for him. Lion, who is able to isolate defenders in its place during his scans, or Dokkaebi, who can call phone to give audio cues on if defenders are close to them or hiding in neighboring rooms, or Jackal, who can track footsteps that actively ping where said tracked person is. Another big counter to Oryx is Gridlock and Nomad. Oryx can dash through many things, mostly all things in the game, except for Gridlock tracks. It'll stop Oryx in his place, canceling the Rima dash animation, and do normal damage as if it would any other defending operator standing in Gridlock tracks. Nomad is another counter towards him and any other operators flanking or roaming. Due to the fact his charge lets off a huge stomping audio cue, it can mask the sound of a nearby Nomad charge placed on the other side of that soft wall or in the doorway. I really enjoyed making this video and I really hope to see it help people who are just learning the game or looking to refine their skill and expand their knowledge on Rainbow Six Siege. If you learned something or have a question, feel free to ask in the comments. I am always active in responding to whoever comments, and if you guys want to see another guide, tricks, and tip breakdown video, who do you want it to be for? Make sure to also follow my socials where I post when I upload videos, and follow my Twitch stream where I stream ranked almost every single day. Again, I hope this video reaches the right people and helps out a little bit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Again! Scan.
Op 4, last stop standing.
Pushing a door. Told you.
Op 4 eliminated.
Yeah, yo!
Successful.
You're just
Oh,
better than these.
you were asking what
up?
aspect ratio?
Definitely on red.
Good job.
Give me a second. Just fast.
Flank shark.
Located a bomb.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now.
Joining piano.
Hey, outside, double door, right side, Plankton.
One op.
Last one's right, he knows you're there.
Time expires.
Games?
10
That
seconds.
games.
Last op.
The door, swing and rotate.
Oh my god.
4 eliminated.
No way.
How do I lose this? How do I
Yeah.
suck that bad? I'm not the multiplayer.
Fireplace door. In fireplace, back. Look at the main. Push him fast.
IQ is 1 HP. Throw a pubic hair at IQ when she dies.
Down him through the wall, SpongeBob. Sandy, down him through the wall.
Oh my god.
Remaining.
Ace is going top blue right now. Okay, Hibana's is going into library. Hibana's in library. Holding library box door, crouched. He's in library box. Nice, good shot.
Oh my god,
dude, shame. In breach. On half wall holding a few doors.
Look at you, Sam. Look at you.
Nice.
Oh my god.
4 eliminated.
You're crazy. Better. SpongeBob 112 is better.